Hello all. It's the 19th of October, 2013. We're going to talk a little bit about gold today and the economy. Let me go show you something pretty amazing. Now, we looked at this on the last video called Condos, Condos, Condos. And I just wanted to show it to you. It's now 17 trillion. So the national debt is climbing so fast. Well, let's go back to our video last week and see what it was just on the 15th of October. Okay, this is what it was then. It was 16,962 billion. The U.S. is obviously in trouble. And the more economists I hear, they're all sort of saying the same thing, that there's going to be a money crash, that the money will be worthless. Here's another sign that the U.S. is in trouble. The name of this video is called Gold, Gold, Gold. These are the 10-year Treasury bonds, and what I wanted to show you was the graph. Now the pen is dying quickly, so it's going to go up here and join this pen in this video. Alright, so we started out here, and it went like this throughout the months and years. It kind of came up like this, but just in the last few weeks, when they started to do the shutdown, it did this kind of thing. Now, that's obviously got to be worrying some people. There's some other signs as well, such as Chase Bank and other banks have started to put a limit on how much money you can withdraw in a billing cycle or a month. So if you're a small business and you're in Chase and some of these other banks, you're limited to $50,000 withdrawal of money. Now, there's also another thing going on, is that the banks have stopped wire transfers from inside the U.S. to outside the U.S. You no longer can transfer money out of the U.S. What does this mean? Could it possibly mean that they're afraid that people will panic and start putting their money outside of the country? They're limiting what you can withdraw, and they're also stopping transfers to outside of the U.S. Let's go look at this. Okay, most economists are saying you should put your money into gold and silver and other precious metals. Well, if you're super wealthy, I guess that could be an option, but I don't think it's going to help. And the reason is, if the money collapses, if the dollar becomes useless and worthless, then why would gold be worth any more? Because you can't take gold and turn it into something, then use that something to buy something. You know what I mean? You can't, well, let me show you what I mean. Before we go on, let's take a look at this lovely view this morning, looking out in the ocean. It's the fog coming in. As the U.S. keeps borrowing money from itself in other countries, the higher the interest on the debt gets. So there's a time when you can no longer pay the interest payment, let alone the debt. Right now there's no way to pay back the debt. We're getting very close to not being able to pay our interest payments. Then we go into default. And nobody really knows, none of these economists really know what's going to happen, because a country this large has never gone into default before. Now, let's say that this rock face right here, all this is gold. And let's say it comes in, you have let's say you buy it in 10-pound pieces. Alright, so your basement's full of gold. You're thinking you're going to hedge on hyperinflation by having gold. Now, let's say we do go into hyperinflation and the dollar becomes worthless. There's no more dollar value anymore. It's so high. A gallon of gas is $100,000, that type of thing. how does this is as good as gold, this rock. How is this rock, or this gold, going to help you in any way? If you go to cash it in, what are you going to cash it in to? See, that's my whole point. Once you lose money, there's nothing to cash into. So all you have is this rock. And then when you go somewhere, you say, well, I need some food. And they'll say, well, you have to carve me off 20 ounces. So you're sitting there trying to carve 20 ounces off this gold or something. Nobody has yet to convince me that gold has any more value than paper. Absolutely no value at all. Other than the electronic divisions of manufacturing. They use it for the conductivity electronics such as wiring, and USB 3 ports are now gold coated. But other than that, okay, there's another reason I think that gold will be useless, and that is if we do go into hyperinflation and the dollar becomes useless, the whole planet will be in such a chaos and collapse that people will probably mostly just starve and kill each other, starve to death and kill each other. A lot like what's going on in many parts of the U.S., such as Detroit or Camden, New Jersey. There's parts of New York and other Chicago and Los Angeles and even parts of San Francisco are just falling into terrible situations. I think that's sort of what the future would hold if we did go into superinflation and the dollar became useless. So what would be something you could trade in a situation like this? It's time to go to the board again. Okay, the thing, unfortunately this pen has now died. So it is going to, in a few minutes, join the other one. I'm not sure if it should go here or down here or up here. Alright, so what would be the number one thing I think that would sell the most, or would be a good trading, a barter piece, would be toilet paper. We've just seen that Venezuela, because of the U.S. Meddling in things, had many months of toilet paper shortages, and we saw that that was the thing that people really wanted, was toilet paper. The second would be food, and under food would be spices, canned food, and dried food. Anything that will last for months and months, or weeks and weeks at least, like cabbage, potatoes, carrots, that sort of thing, would probably be worth quite a bit. You guys can tell me other things that might be of use in an extreme emergency conditions such as what we're facing. Hopefully we won't get there, because like I said, if we do, I don't think anybody has a chance. So with that, we're going to mount the next dead pen. We have to make sure that you can read what this company is, since we've had 2 dead pens now from this company. And there it is. We'll just put it right there. The second dead pen. Unfortunately for me, I don't think there's any other choice but that pen. So with that comes the next new pen. It's the same brand. We should get a little bit of time out of it. Let's see how it works. There we go. That's much better. Okay, I just wanted to thank all the comments and the likes and all on the videos so far. If you have anything you guys want to hear about, or maybe I can look some information up and make a video on it, let me know in the description. And let me know what you think would be a good barter thing. Something you could barter in case of emergencies. Another thing would be your time, of course. Somebody fixes your house while you fix their laundry. You do their laundry, or you cook food for them, or something like that. You exchange labor. But let me know what you guys think, and until next time.